that we got to do that right on air. You know what I'm saying? That's how we get down, man.
Okay.
Listen, welcome back.
I'm on time tonight. I'm
This one, you know, it's gonna be an amazing show. Because I was just telling Vern that moving forward, I'm gonna start putting the promos and say the show starts at 9. Will Gordon will be joining us around 9:10, 9:15. But today you on time, man. Listen, first
I'm
and foremost,
showing up.
want to welcome everyone back to another live episode of the Friday Night Live series, The Opinionated Ones, brought to you by the Sanchez Show. As always, got Vernon Brownlee, got Will Gordon. I am Eric Sanchez. We are the Opinionated Ones. We got NFL picks. We getting into some NBA talk. Fellas, I don't know if you see it. We got a lot of comments already lining up. 9 o'clock sharp, the people are ready. But I want to go around the horn first. Will Gordon, how you feeling?
What they do, baby? I'm living, man. How my brothers doing today, man?
All is well. Vern, how you feeling?
I can't complain. Looking like a W this weekend, so it's all good.
It's feeling like a dub out there, right?
It's feeling like it. Maybe we pray a little bit, maybe.
Hey, shout out to Jay. He already started out right here. He said after that wild show last week, I had to come back this week. Let's start
Appreciate
off
you, Jay.
as we always do. Vern has been fully integrated into the opinionated ones.
Hey,
We're doing things.
I don't bring
Hey,
I bring
Don't show the label.
hey,
Listen,
we
don't show the label.
clink, gentlemen.
exactly.
Clink to a good show tonight, gentlemen. Clink. Damn, he going straight from the bottom. Jeez.
Woo! It's gonna be a winning weekend.
Woo.
Yeah.
All right. As we always do on Friday night, we pick the whole slate, everything from week 7. Last week wasn't a great week for us, fellas. I've been hearing about it all week. I had people hit me up like that was off. 401k pick was off. Upset picks was off. It was a bad week.
What the 401k pick last week? For me,
That's a good question.
We had
Philly.
Philly. We had Philly.
I didn't have Philly.
I hold on. I got to look back because I believe we have
Just covering. I text you. I said I don't think Jets gonna cover because of the injuries, and they still covered.
Hey, yo, is my audio good? Y'all got me? Y'all can hear me?
Hear you. Yep, your audio is good.
Okay, I bet. All right.
Listen, last week was a bad week, man. Even if you had the Bills didn't cover.
I mean, but my 401k pick, I thought the Bills. I thought it was money line.
Right, you had them to outright win. I think we all had them to at least win, which they did, but it wasn't a great week, man.
It wasn't a great week. Vegas won that week. Vegas took all our money.
Vegas took everything that week from us. Let's see. Last week, no, Vern. Last week I got you 401k pick of the week. I got you down for San Fran last week.
Really? Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Listen, a couple games killed.
That's on them. That ain't on you, Vern. That's on them.
I agree.
Terrible.
I agree.
I watched that whole game. That game was trash.
I agree. Listen, we
And
can't be held
the
responsible.
officiating in that game was horrible.
We can't be held responsible for teams not showing up. That's not our fault. We pick them how we see them.
Yeah, that one on us.
That's not on us. We're going to be better this week. More importantly, we got NBA kicking off this week, so I know we're going to have some NBA questions that we got to get to as well. But I want to shout out all of the supporters because, like I said, we got a lot of comments already as we're starting off the show. So let's get to some of the comments. Kyrie Thompson, shout out to Kyrie. He was the first one in the building. And I already see people getting on us about our picks last week. We're going to get to that in a second, though. Kyrie said, time to believe in Jacksonville. Jags won last night. What you think, Will?
I think they've been a product of their schedule at this point right now. I'm not sure I'm ready to believe in them. Their benefit of being in a horrible division. You know what I mean? So I think they might be able to withstand their success that they've been having so far. And Trevor Lawrence is that dude. Like I always believed in Trevor Lawrence. Travis Etienne being healthy is a major factor. He's doing big things for them. Shout out to my fantasy team. But yeah, he's doing big things. And it's really not anybody in their way in their division right now. So they can be a factor. They really can.
Vern, what you think? After coming off yesterday's win, they've won 3 in a row now. Do you feel Jacksonville is finding their way?
I mean, finding their way, but to what extent? I mean, I feel like this team has limitations for very obvious reasons. I feel like they're kind of inconsistent. I know they got a streak going on, but Trevor Lawrence is my fantasy quarterback, and it's about time that he starts maybe producing some fruit. Still not throwing enough touchdowns for me, but their division is just so weak that I think they could possibly be number 1 or 2 seed in the AFC just because no one in their division is going to compete with them. I know the Texans are, I guess, surprisingly, better than expected team, but they're still not a playoff team. So I think they can get the number 1 or 2 seed, and by getting the number 1 or 2 seed, because just based on the division strength and schedule, they might be able to make a deeper run than normal in the playoffs. To me, I had my dark horse of Trevor Lawrence as my MVP, which is documented. So nothing that they're doing right now is really surprising. I think they can make a run, but when they run into teams like the Chiefs, the Bills, the Dolphins, they can't really compete. So at most, this is a step up to maybe build something bigger, but nothing more than that.
All right.
Yeah, I think they'd be like in the wild card weekend and could possibly lose in the first round.
Yeah.
Well, I think so. They're going to win their division. They're the most talented team in the AFC South, so I don't think that's up for debate. To Vern's point, I think they're going to probably end up with a top 3 seed in the AFC, which is going to guarantee them at least 1 home game. They were one of the teams similar to the format that I used last year with the Eagles that I thought could exceed people's expectations because weak division, weak schedule. Go for it, Vern. Weak division, weak schedule, and a clear path to a high seed in the AFC, which really all they're going to have to do is maybe have to win 1 difficult game to find themselves in an AFC championship game. Now, I don't want to say they're going to be in the AFC championship game, but it just feels like they're going to win their division. They're probably going to win 11, maybe even 12 games, and they're going to have a very easy path. So I don't want to say it's time to believe in them yet. I'll wait. They have some tougher games on the schedule coming up before I say that much, but I do think they are a legitimate playoff team. In regards to yesterday's game, Derek Carr, not a great performance. James Brown wants to know, is Derek Carr as bad as Russell Wilson? Vern, I'm going to start with you.
No, nobody's as bad as Russell Wilson.
You sure about that?
I think you need to understand that let me preface this with this. Russell Wilson is actually playing better than what his record is showing. I understand. However, if you want to be realistic, if Morneau doesn't drop that touchdown in the end zone, we might be looking at the entire game differently. However, Derek Carr has not lived up to the expectation that New Orleans probably had for him when they signed them. I was never really high on Derek Carr, personally. I think Derek Carr is a lesser version of Kirk Cousins. I think he's someone that might be able to manage the game. He's probably just maybe like a notch above Ryan Tannehill. And really, he has no excuse now. I mean, the New Orleans Saints defense is really good, in my opinion. But the reason why the Jacksonville Jaguars scored 24 points was because of Derek Carr put them in position to score 24 points. Interceptions, short fields, etc. So Derek Carr, I mean, he just ain't it. I'm not saying that he's Russell Wilson bad, but I think James Brown has a really good comparison. I would probably say if you swap them, the team records are probably the same. I don't really think there's really much difference. But Chris Olave is an issue for him. Chris Olave, for some reason, is not either finishing routes, giving up on routes. I'm not sure it's because of something that the coaching is telling him, or it's because he just doesn't feel like he's being targeted in the offense enough. I feel as though it's becoming a problem. The Saints offensively have some issues. Kamara is catching way too many passes. They rely on him way too much for what they are built to do. And Chris Olave needs to be featured more on offense, but it doesn't seem like he's really as invested. So we'll see. But I don't think it's as bad as Russell Wilson, though. I truly don't think so.
I got to correct you on one thing. You said you said no one's as bad as Russell Wilson. Mac Jones. Mac Jones is terrible.
Okay, first of all, let's not bring up Mac Jones is not even the NFL starting quarterback.
I mean, we talking guys who are terrible. He's terrible. Will, Derek Carr, what were your thoughts on the performance yesterday? Is he as bad as Russell Wilson? I mean, you saw him firsthand. He was the division rival for a little bit for you.
Both of them when you talk about Derek Carr and Russell Wilson, these are old men at this point. When you look at NFL quarterback, you know what I'm saying? NFL quarterbacks, we know who you are at this point. You feel me? So Russ had a fast start, but hasn't had anything since then. Derek Carr has just been medium to average his whole career. So it's like, what are we supposed to expect from them? Like they aren't. I don't expect them to excel at this point. When in their younger years, when you're supposed to be better, you weren't. So now, am I supposed to think you're gonna get better now in your older age? No, especially when you're going to different teams and having to learn new systems and learn new teammates. It's not like you're going to just step. This ain't Madden, you know what I'm saying? You can't just step in and and succeed. And if you haven't been able to succeed, period, why should I expect you to succeed now when you got these young guns coming behind you? You know what I mean? You got all these young players coming behind you that's better than what you show. So no, I'm not a believer. I'm not a believer at all.
I'm not a believer. I think to James's point though about as bad and what you mentioned too, Will, which is valid. You know, these are guys that a lot of years. They're older guys now. I think the most troubling part about both of them is the mistakes they still make at this point in their career. Like when you look at some of the interceptions they throw, it's like if you didn't know any better and you just saw the play, you would think that's a first year quarterback, second year quarterback that's making that play, not a guy who's got 10 plus years in the league. You would think you would have a better understanding of reading the defense and the grasp on the offense. I think that's where the question comes in, that these guys make the type of mistakes that you are not supposed to make this late in your career, man.
Right.
Another question here. Shout out to Derek Thompson on this one. He wants to get into the whole Tyreek Stephen A. Smith battle. Tyreek, I don't know if y'all saw Tyreek kind of called out Stephen A. Smith. This goes back to something that we've talked about before about entitlement. Stephen A. Smith doesn't feel Tua is an MVP candidate. Tyreek, for whatever reason, takes exception to that and says he's obviously not watching the games, which to Stephen A. Smith's point was like, of course I'm watching all the games that's going on. Vern, I'm going to use this to segue into the Sunday night game, which is the biggest game of the weekend.
Of course.
Let's get into this little BS beef between Tyreek and Stephen A.
Stephen A. just so wrong here. Like, so wrong. And to be honest with you, I feel as though Stephen A. Smith has been off his game for a few years. I feel like he's been relying on his personality instead of his analysis. And to say Tua is not MVP worthy is kind of crazy because last year, not talking 2 years, 3 years, last year, he was an MVP, in my opinion, candidate until he got injured. What are we even talking about? Number one offense, passing yards. Anything you want to look at for a metric for an offense, you're there. And everyone knows that the quarterback is the most important part of any kind of offense that you can possibly engineer. Tyreek Hill, when he came over, people said, Tua doesn't have a big arm. He's not going to be able to get many yards. Tua is on pace. Tyreek Hill is on pace to have the best receiving season that any receiver can possibly have, over 2,000 yards, over, double-digit touchdowns, whatever. So the fact that Stephen A. Smith is even talking about Tua is not an MVP candidate is kind of crazy. Also, your favorite for the MVP candidates would be maybe preseason Mahomes, Allen, maybe Joe Burrow. All of them are struggling.
Yeah, I think the preseason top three were Hurts, Mahomes, and Burrow.
Right. So all of them are kind of struggling. So how can't you say that the person with the number one offense that is driving their team, scoring 40 points multiple times, score 70 points, how aren't you saying that they're an MVP candidate? To me, when you look at the quarterbacks for the league, I would probably say personally that he's number two right now. I would still put Mahomes number one just because he doesn't have anything really to work with. But if someone wants to say, oh, Tua is number one, I'm not arguing with them. So the fact that Stephen A. Smith, as a decorated journalist, is saying this shows that he's uneducated on the topic, which should not happen with someone in his position. Stephen A. Smith should be more educated and say, hey, look, Tua is really doing his thing here. Like multiple 40-point games at this point in time, we're at week 7. We haven't played week 7, but we're at week 7. It's kind of really remarkable, regardless of the competition, because of how difficult it is to score in this league. So Stephen A. Smith here is wrong. And the touch that he has with the players and the connection he has with the players, or a lack of connection he has with the players, I think at this point in time, it really shows, because no one would really say that Tua is not an MVP candidate. I mean, come on. How can you not say that? He's number one in offense through any metric that you want to go through the NFL league.
They tied for the best record in the AFC. After last week, and even going into last week, they were already on pace to shatter every record that was set by the 2000 Rams, who are known as the greatest show on turf. I just, again, if you're gonna say Tua isn't, you gotta name who is. The only guy I can think of that has had a better first 6 weeks of their season than Tua is Christian McCaffrey. Other than Christian McCaffrey, there isn't a single player that you could say has had a better start to the season. So if Tua isn't your number one, he's got to at least be in that conversation at number 2 or number 3 at worst. His numbers are better than Mahomes right now. His impact on the game, I think, is second to none. Only Mahomes probably impact-wise, because if you take Mahomes off Kansas City, we know with those receivers, they wouldn't be as good. But what Tua is doing is again, to me, second to none. If anybody, only Christian McCaffrey. Will, what you think?
But that would not have been a situation like. I feel like it's only because of the situation. You know what I'm saying? Like Tua, is Tua good? Yeah, but he's a product of what he's in right now. So like you got Tyreek Hill, who was the cheat code. Tyreek Hill's the cheat code. There's right now in the NFL, who's more of a cheat code than Tyreek Hill? Can y'all tell me that?
Eric, more of a cheat code?
I'm sorry, Eric, hold on. Okay. Will, like, don't go down this path. Don't go don't go
What path?
That's saying that Tyreek Hill is making Tua. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I'm just saying Tyreek Hill is the most unguardable player that we've seen in years.
And that's fine. But Tua is still playing at a level that most quarterbacks, I mean, there's a lot of other young quarterbacks who have weapons who aren't playing at the level Tua is playing at.
I feel like if y'all go back, like this is just a sidebar. Y'all go back, I feel like I was the first person to start the tank for Tua hashtag.
When you were still with the Redskins and you wanted them in DC.
Yeah. Okay. You remember that, right?
Yeah. Okay.
You remember that?
Right.
And now it's showing to fruition. Right now it's showing that like, yo, that was probably right. But the fact that he's got the cheat code with him, it's hard. That's hard to stop.
So, but let me ask you a question. Hold on. Let me ask you a question. So, you think if you put Tyreek Hill on the Patriots, Mac Jones will put up these numbers?
No.
Why not?
Because he can't get the ball to him.
All right. So then we still got to give Tua credit. Tua is still making
the read. For sure.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So, absolutely.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Even if you don't think Tua is elite on the level of a Mahomes or a Burrow or Hurts or even Allen, fine. I can understand that. But let's not act like Tua isn't making the throws necessary. Let's not act like Tua isn't making the correct
reads. He's accurate as hell.
Right.
He's out here accurate. He's making the throws. He's making the throws. He's making the reads. And he's taking the checkdowns when it needs to be checked down. So he's doing everything he needs to be doing. That's why Miami is in the spot that they are in.
I just think he deserves more credit than what Stephen A was giving him. I think that's what Vern was saying as well. Let's use that to segue to the Sunday game, because there's a couple comments. Shout out to Jay. Jay made the comment here. He gave you a credit, Will. He said Will definitely was a tank for Tua starter, and he wants to know who wins Sunday night. Also, I believe it was James Brown. Let me go back to that question that he had posed earlier. Actually, sorry, it was Kyrie. Who needs to win more, Miami or Philly, Sunday night? And we could use that to pick the game right now because
I
Philly's
think
favorite
Philly.
less 1.5.
I think it's Philly.
You think Philly needs this game more than Miami?
Yeah, for sure. Because in
Okay.
the NFC East, they are battling right now. Like I think, like when you look at because first of all, segue, Washington versus the Giants. That's going to be a battle because the Giants have owned Washington since Daniel Jones has been there. So that's going to be a battle.
That's not going to be a battle.
And then, why not?
Because the Giants are terrible. And the Commanders, I think, are a little better than we thought. The
Daniel
Commanders can get
Jones,
to the quarterback.
Daniel Jones is beat. Daniel Jones is like
Daniel Jones not playing.
Daniel Jones probably not even playing.
he's like 7-2 against Washington.
He's not
Oh,
playing.
he might not even play.
Oh, that's right. He is injured. You're right.
But even still,
that's my bad. That's my bad. Yeah,
I think we've
I
seen
forgot he
enough
was
of it.
injured.
Out.
I forgot he was injured. I forgot he was injured.
Hey, I think I'm gonna say this, Vern. I'm gonna give my opinion on it. Then I want you to give yours. Sunday night, to me, this game means more to Miami than Philly. Philly, even if Philly loses this game, Philly is still a top 2 team in the NFC. We know the NFC is really between them and San Fran. They're a tier above everyone else. For Miami, this is Tua's opportunity to get his signature win. For as good as Tua's played the last year and a half, he doesn't have a signature win. So if he can go into Philly and beat the defending NFC champions in a primetime game, it will cement him as like now he is one of the upper echelon quarterbacks, and it will be his moment. If he goes in there and struggles against a defense that I think has not played as well as we originally thought, if he struggles against that defense, if he isn't able to get Tyreek the ball the way he struggled in that Buffalo game, then the questions come back up. The questions come up again and say, this is the second time that you played an elite team and you struggled. So to me, it's more for Miami than Philly.
That's a good point. My bad.
Actually, I'm with Will here. Philly's gonna win this game. I'm taking with the spread. Honestly, I'm not sure how close the game is going to be. And the reason why I say that is because look at the teams that Miami has played and blown out. They all suck. All of them. Every single one. Broncos. Panthers. I mean, just between those two teams alone, they got 1 win combined on the entire season.
Damn.
Okay. So, I mean, not only that, Philly, even though their offense has looked off sync, their strength is putting pressure on the quarterback. I don't think that Tua is going to be able to handle that well. I think it's going to be errant throws. And even in the Panthers game, you had the Panthers scoring 14 points up top. The game before the Panthers game, you had the Giants get a pick 6 in the red zone because of the pressure. So what I'm saying is that I think what Philly generating the pressure they generate, plus what Jalen Hurts can do, I think Philly wins this game something like 27-24. And they beat them. The last time we saw Miami play a team that's above 500, they got blown out. The last time. I mean, it wasn't even close.
Right.
Buffalo marched up and down the field as if I was on defense and I was 11 players. It was nobody there. It was like, okay, well, we're going to bow and just
that proves my point. Then that's why this means more to Miami than Philly. But Miami has to prove
tools. They don't have the tools to do anything. They can't stop anything.
So let me ask you a question: if Philly loses, does it change your opinion on where Philly stands in the NFC?
Absolutely, because that shows that their offense is so out of sync, or Jalen Hurts is not performing to the level that we all expected, that they're going to have a lot of issues going forward. Because to me, if the money that Jalen Hurts got paid, you're saying, I expect top 5 QB performance. And if you can't do that consistently, it's going to be an issue. Because if they lose and the Commanders win and the Cowboys win, you're now talking about a crowded NFC East, and with the Commanders hosting the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, we
I will
spent a lot of time on this game.
Let's not get too far ahead on that right there.
I'm just saying it
Listen.
becomes very complicated.
Hey, we spent a lot of time on this game.
I don't think Philly
Listen,
played Miami.
I got Miami. I'm gonna tell you right now, I got Miami.
Like I said, 27-24 in Philly. That's where I'm going, and that's what's going to happen.
I got Miami. Will, who you got?
I got Philly.
You got Philly. All right, listen. We got
I
some
think they
basketball
need
questions.
one, so I got Philly.
Okay. We got a couple basketball questions, so we're gonna get to some of these basketball questions, and then
Oh, we got some hoop questions. Let's get into that. Let's get into that.
Listen, let's see. Let's start from the top. What we got here? Some basketball questions that we got in here.
The WNBA is really important, to be honest with you.
So we're gonna get to that. Shout out to
Yeah, NBA don't care. NBA don't matter until the trade deadline, but it is what it is.
Hold on. Well, come on. NBA, you know the NBA, even though it's kicking off, even though it's tipping off next week, it really starts around Christmas. It ain't about the trade deadline. Christmas is really the official start.
But the trade deadline is in February. It's only like 2 months later.
I mean, if we're gonna say that, we might as well the season don't start to the playoffs then, because that's 2 months after that. We'll trying to simulate the whole season. Let's just get to the playoffs. Let's get to what really matters.
I'm just saying.
Shout out to Poole. Poole said, congrats to the Aces for winning the NBA title. Aces were missing 3 stars and one. A'ja Wilson becoming.
Wait.
You know,
what?
I got it.
They talking about WNBA?
I gotta acknowledge Pooh's question because she felt a certain way that we wasn't getting into her questions before.
Pooh, I love you, boo. But we talking about we really talking about WNBA championships right now.
I would love to talk about it. I would love to comment on it.
Shout out to Ron. Here you go.
A'ja Wilson's the best player in the league. DM.
Absolutely, she should have won MVP.
That's it. That's the only thing they talk about. A'ja Wilson's the best player in the league, and she's fucking hot as shit. By the way, I would wipe her up in a heartbeat.
You play for a heart? You'll play for a heart?
Bro, I'm too short for her. I'm only 6 foot tall, bro. But if A'ja Wilson, hey. Come holler at me.
That's not.
Oh my God! Listen, shout out to
that will never happen. That's not ever going to happen. But hey,
you never know.
That's basically the only.
Please,
the only WNBA. I mean, but I got love for WNBA hoopers like my girl Dawn Staley and. Like I got love for WNBA hoopers.
All right, come on, hold on. All right, let's keep it moving. Vern, start this one off right here. Shout out to Ron. He want to know what he want.
Go ahead, Vern. Kick it off.
You see the question?
All right. Let's be real. Before the season even started, I said the Aces was going to win. My man who runs the podcast for WNBA, or my lady. I mean, she's lady.
Oh, we still talking WNBA? God damn. We really doing this right now?
Look, the Aces were going to get the sweep. The only reason they did not sweep the New York Liberty was because of the injuries that they suffered to the starting lineup. That's it. It's the only reason. Outside of that, A'ja Wilson, Candace Parker. Oh my gosh, what a tandem!
Well, Candace
Parker might be one of the top.
Candace Parker didn't really contribute. She was just on the team.
Could possibly be number 1 all time, depending on how her trajectory goes. However, Sabrina for the New York Liberty is a bum.
She didn't play well.
It's a bum. No.
It's a bum. No, you can't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
She's not a bum. She's not a bum.
Yeah, you can't do that, bro.
She struggled in the series.
You can't do that.
3 for 17 in the closeout game at home. 3 for 17.
She struggled.
3 for 17.
She struggled. That'll make her a bum.
Bonafide stars don't struggle in that spot. I'm expecting you to do
time out. Stop. I'm gonna stop you right there.
You can't call her a bum, bro.
First of all, hold on. In your opinion, you got Braun as the greatest player of all time. Braun has several stat lines like that in big.
Whoa, who said that? Wait a minute. Who said that?
No, Vern. Does Braun not have several stat lines like that in big playoff games?
We can get to Braun later. We can get to Braun later.
Wait a minute.
No. So let's not call up. She's not a bum. She had a bad series. She had specifically a bad game.
Okay, the game's on the line. Game's on the line, Eric. How many times she passed that ball around? She said, "I don't want no part of that. I don't want to even take the shot."
Wait, no. I need everybody to be quiet right now.
No part of that. Look, all I'm telling you was this: A'ja Wilson,
Counselor.
She is.
I need you to be quiet real quick.
I told my friend, I said, "Look,
there's no way that you think LeBron is the greatest player of all time."
Injuries. I said, "Look, if A'ja Wilson is that person, she's gonna sweep her, or she's gonna."
Counselor.
What they do?
Counselor, I have a question for you.
Will, hold on, Will. Let him finish the point. Hold on, Will.
She show up.
All right.
Sabrina is that. If Sabrina is who people think that she is, she should have won that game at her home court. With the injuries, come on now. Like, all I'm saying is A'ja Wilson did what needed to be done. Sabrina, 3 for 17 in the closeout game is insane. I can't pass that right now.
Go ahead, Will. Go ahead.
A'ja Wilson. All right. I will say A'ja Wilson's the best female player in the game. Yes. But then I'll stop because I don't give a damn about WNBA. Okay, here you go. Then I'm going to say, you did not just say, what did you say about LeBron?
LeBron James is a top 5 player.
No, don't fix it. What did you say?
He's a top 5 player of all time.
Where?
In any metric that you want to go with.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where you putting him? Where are you putting him?
I'm not doing it tonight. Eric, keep us on topic. I'm not doing
it. We're not gonna spend 20 minutes on that topic.
I know we ain't gonna do that, but we were talking about NBA championships, right?
All I was saying is you cannot listen. Sabrina did not play well in the series. Nobody's making excuses for that. But we're not gonna call her a bum for her performance in the series. When other players that we anoint as some of the greatest ever had similar stat lines in playoff series. However you want to take it. Shout out to Kyrie on this one. He said, "Are the Aces a dynasty or headed to one?" I was shocked by how bad Breanna Stewart played in the finals. I think you got to say, at the very least, if they're not a dynasty already, they're on the cusp of a dynasty, back-to-back championships.
Yeah, back-to-backs. You gotta recognize that.
Yeah, back-to-back puts you in the conversation. That's where the dynasty starts. You got to at least go back-to-back.
Win it again. Clink.
Why are we talking about women's basketball right now?
The people want to know.
Let's move on. Let's move on, guys.
Listen, we got great supporters that want to know. Listen, hold on. We didn't get to this one though. We didn't get to Ron's question. Ron want to know what young NBA player y'all think gonna have a breakout season. Will, go ahead, Will.
Young player, Jordan Poole. He's gonna have the greenest light of all green lights. And I don't even like him.
Jordan Poole.
But he's gonna have the greenest light of all green lights, man. Well, he might average 33. He might average 33 this year.
Shout out to Jay, because Jay put this in there too. He said Jordan Poole went for 41.
Jay see it. He might average 33. He might average 33 this year. Cool. But you know what? I don't give a shit about those points because it'll be the same way that Brandon Beal did it when he was in Washington. Because he was the best out of bums. You know what I'm saying? When you're the best out of bums, you're gonna put up points.
Bradley Beal light. Vern, what's your thoughts on Ron's question? What young player?
First of all, look out for Scoot Henderson. He is winning Rookie of the Year.
I know you hype on Scoot.
Scoot is winning Rookie of the Year. Like, Victor Wembanyama is great. I think he's going to have injury concerns and physicality concerns throughout the season. I just do. But in terms of, I guess, like mid-season level, I think Anthony Edwards is ready to take the next level. I think Anthony Edwards is ready to talk about being a dark horse candidate for MVP.
Whoa. MVP.
I think dark horse MVP. I think Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards
you on a special type of cocaine tonight.
I think he is. I think he's ready to go. I think
Shout out.
he is
MVP.
that the league needs to take notice of. First of all, Jordan Poole is boo-boo cheeks. I will
Well,
say
shout
this
out to
single
Derek, because Derek followed up. He said Jordan Poole was 1 for 15 tonight against the Raptors.
Derek-
So much for that 41 he dropped out.
Oh shit, was he? Yeesh.
fish.
I didn't see that.
The
Oh,
Wizards,
that's ugly. But
they might win 25 games. They suck. I mean, who cares?
I don't want to win more than 19 because I'm
Yeah, I mean they suck. So I think Scoot Henderson, Anthony Edwards as your MVP breakout candidate, possibly of the year. I mean, we're talking about young players. I mean, I know people talk about Shy. I don't think Shy. I think Shy's okay, but I don't really
Shay?
think
You mean Shay?
Shay good
Shay.
goalist,
Shay.
average
Shay.
SGA.
hey here at the Sanchez show we don't care about pronunciations. We just know who they are.
If he lives
we
up to
always botch that.
first of all, if he lives up to my expectations, maybe I will know how to pronounce his name.
I mean, he was
does.
only first team All NBA last year.
He's shitty.
Was he?
Who?
He's shitty.
You're bugging. Get out, Vern.
Oh, you call him
I might
shitty?
flip your mic,
See,
Vern.
I can't agree with that. Yeah, I can't say that.
He doesn't make an impact. Tell me when he
He
goes
don't
this
make
year.
an impact. He don't make
He
an
doesn't.
impact. He playing with a bunch of young dudes that he's leading, averaging over 30 points a game. He led them to the playoffs last
Exactly.
year.
Who else is going to take the shots? Who gives a fuck? It's like Bradley Beal at point guard. Who cares?
You're bugging,
Ooh.
Vern. That's
Dude,
how I know you.
matters.
Vern, that's an East Coast bias, Vern. You
See,
Shay is
you saw Vern was drinking from the bottle tonight.
Look,
Vern out of control tonight.
do something that matters. I'm always feel the same way. Do something that matters when it matters. That's it.
I like so.
My guys, man. Are we gonna pick these games tonight or what?
We're gonna get to the games. I'm picking Shay. Shay is my young breakout star this year. I think he's gonna be a top 4 MVP candidate this year, and I think Oklahoma City is gonna be a top 6 team in the West.
Will, you want to bet Anthony Edwards finishes above him in MVP race?
You can make that bet. Hold on, time out. Hold on. Will.
Wait.
Hold on. No. Will, you gonna be my witness. Vern, we can make the bet, but are you gonna pay up this time? Because you still owe me on a bet from a year and a half ago.
$250.
Hell yeah, you still need that fucking clown suit on or whatever it was.
$250, Eric.
We could put
what was it, a dress?
Right. And
was it a dress or a clown suit? What was it?
Come on. We could
put what was it? Was it a dress or was it a clown suit? It was something.
He was supposed to show up like Mrs. Doubtfire for an episode.
Yeah, he was supposed to. Come on, Medea.
He never did it.
Anthony Edwards finishes above Shay.
We could do that.
We got it.
We could do that.
Okay. Listen, I don't even think
Shay is going to finish high in the MVP voting than Anthony Edwards.
Okay, 250.
Bet. Let's see what other questions.
I know you drive it, but I think we need to get to these picks, gentlemen.
We're gonna get to these picks, but hold on. We got a lot of questions here, Will. We got some good ones.
Oh, they coming in? They coming in? Okay. All right.
Andre Iguodala retired from the NBA. Did he do enough to make the Naismith Hall of Fame? No, he did not.
Yes, he did. Because you know why? Yes, he did. Because look at the people that's been in the Hall of Fame, and this dude grinded for 19 years and played. He had a lot. Yo, if you don't watch Andre Iguodala's, watch his highlight tape. And then that'll make you remember how cold he was. That dude was a beast. And then he played 19 years. At this point, the way they putting dudes in the league and in the Hall of Fame, he's absolutely supposed to be in there. Not that he's cold as shit, but that dude got it done. And he had a lot of Hall of Fame moments. But if you go back and look at what people consider Hall of Fame consideration, he absolutely deserves to be in that conversation. 19 years in, absolutely.
I don't agree. I think he was a very good player. That's not a knock on him. Hold on. Just because I say he shouldn't go into the Hall doesn't mean he wasn't a good player. He was a good player. But to me, the Hall is supposed to be for the very best guys of their era.
But they ain't been that.
I'm using my criteria.
I feel that. I hear you. But has it been that in the last 12 years?
Derek Thompson is asking what our opinion is. Did he do enough to make the Naismith Hall of Fame? In my opinion, he did not. You're talking about a guy who, yes, 4-time NBA champion with the Warriors. Yes, he got that Finals MVP in their first championship.
No, let's talk about.
Hold on. Aside from that, he's made one All-Star game in 19 years. No first All-NBA teams. Only one first-team All-Defensive team. What is his impact to say he's a Hall of Famer? He was a good player during his era. Was he ever one of the top 10 or 15 guys during his era? Never. There's never a season that you would say Andre Iguodala was one of the top 15 guys in the league. And if you were not a top 15 guy for over 20 years in the league, how the hell are you a Hall of Famer?
If that's your criteria, that's your criteria. But the Golden State years, plus, see, remember Philly Iggy?
Yeah.
You don't remember Philly Iggy?
Yeah, he was nice. Super athletic. Nice. Wasn't an all-star.
He was killing it when it was him and AI.
Wasn't an all-star. Wasn't first, second, or third team all NBA. Wasn't any of those things, but he was a good player.
But he was more than a good player to me in the Philly days, man. When he was with AI. Shit. Fucking Fabulous. Cause you know how I'm about the music and all.
So because
Fab in there, he said, I keep the 9 on me. I like a dagger.
Yeah.
You know, you remember that, Jay?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That ain't just out of no. I'm not saying Fabulous is supposed to put somebody in the Hall of Fame, but you need to recognize what he did in Philly as well as what he did in Golden State. And then when you look at the people that are in the Hall ahead of him, bro, he's better than a lot of people that was in the Hall.
His best season in Philly is 19-4-5.
Eric.
And this dude's in the Hall that average 16.
Good player. I'm not saying he's
this
not.
Dude's in the Hall that average 16 is what I'm saying. Like, what are you like?
He didn't average 16
for
his career. He didn't average 16 for his career. He averaged 11. He averaged 11 for his career.
He's not Hall of Fame. He's not Hall of Fame.
Based on go back and look at the people that are in the Hall of Fame and tell me Iggy doesn't believe.
Let me ask you a question.
Be beside him.
Will, the question is, what we think? What is your criteria for Hall of Fame? I'm not going by what somebody else thinks makes you a Hall of Famer. What's your criteria?
Impact.
So you think he had a strong enough impact in his 19 years?
Yes.
He's a Hall of Famer? What impact
I do.
is that? So speak
I
to
really
that impact.
do.
What's the impact?
On the teams that he was a part of, he was one of the most influential and one of the best players on those teams.
Cool.
Do you disagree?
Amazing.
You disagree with that?
So was Derek Fisher. with the Lakers. Derek Fisher was impactful and influential to the Lakers dynasty. That'll make him a Hall of Famer.
But when you look at the players that are in there, guys like Derek Fisher, guys like Andre Iguodala could be there.
Derek Fisher's not in the Hall of Fame. Derek Fisher is not in the Hall of Fame.
I know that. But I'm saying when you look at those guys, and then when you look at the guys that are in there, why aren't they in there?
Listen, I know my criteria. We talked. Remember when we went?
What is that?
I told you have to be. I need you to be one of the most impactful guys during your era.
But see, that's the thing. That's not the criteria. That's not the criteria for the Hall of Fame anymore.
You said what's my criteria? That's my criteria.
But that's not the NBA. But do you have a vote?
Not yet. I don't have a vote yet. It's coming.
So that's not the criteria, bro. The criteria is what you impacted, how you impacted the game.
Derek asked us. He asked us, did he do enough? In my personal opinion, no, he did not do enough. Very good player. Very good player.
Derek Fisher?
No, Andre Iguodala. Why are you still talking about Derek Fisher? We moved off of Derek Fisher.
No, you
That was
brought up Derek Fisher. I didn't bring
because
Derek Fisher to this
because
conversation. You
I
did.
used it based on what you said about somebody who's impactful and influential to their team's winning. Derek Fisher was that. Derek Fisher ain't a Hall of Famer.
He was that for the Lakers and for
Andre Iguodala was a very good player. But again, you go through the resume. You're talking about a guy who was a one-time All-Star.
19 years, grinder.
You have
made
one
huge
All-Star
plays,
appearance.
made
One
huge
All-Star.
plays, made huge plays in playoffs and finals.
Damn, don't
Cool. But you was a one-time All-Star. That does not make you an impact player throughout a 19-year career.
Don't entertain that man.
How many? You know what? That's cool. Like I think Robert Horry should be a Hall of Famer.
No, that's why. Why should it be a Hall of Famer?
What do you mean? Why? He had some of the most influential and series-changing plays in the history of the NBA.
He had moments. That's not moments in a career are two separate things. You can have little individual moments along the way,
but it doesn't.
Hall of Fame is your career.
What impacted the NBA? So you say he had moments, okay? But those moments were impactful. Those moments changed championships. Those moments changed the face of what happened in the NBA. And how can you just discount that? Especially when they were consistent.
Who's discounting that? Nobody's saying that his shots were.
You are right now.
No, so because I don't want to put him in the Hall of Fame, that's discounting it?
Yes.
So
there's dudes in the Hall of Fame.
Hold on. So by your metrics, then guys like Eli Manning should automatically be in the NFL Hall of Fame because they had playoff moments.
Yes.
Will,
to me,
Eli Manning missed the playoffs more times than he ever made the playoffs.
And I also know he beat Peyton Manning twice.
He never beat.
Not Peyton Manning. Tom Brady twice.
Cool. He had moments. Moments do not define your whole career. So let me ask you a question: is Mark Rippon a better quarterback than Dan Marino? Because
Dan Marino's top 3 quarterback in my history.
Mark Rippon had a moment when he led the Redskins to a Super Bowl, right? He didn't have a career; he had a moment.
You think you're gonna tell me about Mark Rippon taking the Redskins to the Super Bowl? Yeah, that wasn't about Mark Rippon. That was about Joe Gibbs.
So the same thing with Robert Horry. Those shots weren't about Robert Horry. Those were about the team. Then he was in position to make a shot.
What do you mean? It's shots. It's shots made.
If he's
how can you say that?
If he's not playing with Shaq and Kobe or Tim Duncan, is he even in position to ever make any of those shots?
Well, everybody forgets about him being in Houston when he was rookie.
He was like the 4th best player on the team. He wasn't better than Hakeem. He wasn't better than Clyde. He wasn't better than Sam Cassell. So at the very best,
him and Sam Cassell came in at the same time.
Right, and Sam was still more impactful.
He was like the Scottie Pippen for that team. As a youngster,
he was a solid piece of the team. But that
man, we gonna have to agree to disagree on this one.
You know what blows my mind on this though? You will sit here and try to tell us that LeBron is not a top 10 player, despite all his impact, despite everything he's done for the game.
He's 11.
But then you will say Robert Horry should be in the Hall of Fame.
Did I put Robert Horry in front of LeBron?
No.
I didn't put Robert Horry in front of LeBron. But what he has done,
we cannot.
Dude, how many shots?
We cannot.
Why is it? Hey, listen. I gave you. I listened to you. Listen to me.
I'm listening.
Why is his name Big Shot Bob?
Because he made a couple big shots.
I'm done with
a couple. He just made a couple big shots.
He made some big shots.
Add that with what he did as a rookie and won a championship. How is
Oh
that
my
not
God.
acknowledged? How do
Oh
you
my
not
God.
acknowledge that? How do you not put the body of work? And then plus what he did in LA with those shots, how is that not acknowledged? Is my question.
Hey, listen, I've already acknowledged it.
Counselors.
I've already
No, I
acknowledged it.
want to. I want to.
Hey,
What's
shout out to
counsel? What's your
Pooh.
thoughts?
I'm gonna go back to your question. I saw you up here. I'm gonna get back to your question. I'm not overlooking it, Pooh.
I want to hear from the counselor.
I'm not entertaining you tonight. I refuse to entertain Will Gordon tonight.
Man, why y'all be hating on me like that?
Nobody hating on you. Yo, hold on. There was a question. Hold on. I want to get back to it. I see it about let's see. Where's it at? Derek Thompson. Gil and Kenyon Martin was asking who's harder to guard, Iverson or Kyrie, and they both said Iverson. Then asked about Curry and Iverson, and they said Curry is hard to guard. Thoughts on that? Vern, go ahead, Vern.
Clearly, Curry. Clearly, everyone in the NBA with the 21st century footage, digital media age, still cannot defend Steph Curry. I know people are going to talk about athleticism and who's quicker and who can. I don't give a damn. The best players have tried to guard Curry, and he has done what? 50, 40, 60. I mean, Curry can do whatever he wants to do on any team. Like, he sits in the fourth quarter in a lot of games because they can't guard him. He absolutely goes off. Best three-point shooter the NBA has ever seen. Passes the ball efficiently.
What?
You heard me. The best.
Did you say best 3-point shooter the NBA's ever seen is?
That's exactly what I said. Will
Oh,
Gordon.
Curry. Okay, my bad. I thought you were saying Kyrie.
You know,
My
Curry.
bad. That's my bad. My bad.
Of course, he's the most unguardable player because if you can shoot three at an efficient and prolific rate, how can you argue that he's not? He can do everything else everyone else can do as well. He can finish well in the paint. He has multiple championships. He is the engine that makes Golden State go. Without him, they're not the same. So I don't understand why this is even a question. I mean, I appreciate the question, but I think it's very clear I think it's very clear as who is the most unstoppable player or unguardable player based on Derek Thompson's question.
Yeah, my bad. I had the names confused on that. And Gil and Kenyon Martin, they just be old bitter dudes, man. For real. And I love Gil. You know what I'm saying? I got a Gilbert Arenas jersey. I still rock. But them dudes be on some other shit these days. I don't even know what to be talking about.
Listen, I'll say this to piggyback on Vern's point as far as everything that Steph can do, his ability to shoot. I just think he's the toughest out of these three to guard because of his movement off ball as well. Iverson and Curry, his ability to move off the ball and get to his spots and still score without having to initiate it on his own is far greater than what Iverson and Kyrie do. Because Iverson and Kyrie are ball dominant. They got to have high usage rates to get their shot off. Curry can play off ball and still get you 30. He doesn't have to create the own shot. He just got to come off screens. He's basically, he does everything those two guys do, and he can do what Reggie Miller and Ray Allen did in their prime, and that's play off ball, come off screens, and knock down shots. So Curry,
would you say that's to the style of the game today though?
No, because I think
because it was a different game. It was a different game in 2000.
Right, but what Curry does off ball is no different than what Reggie Miller and Ray Allen did, and that was back in the 90s and 2000 and early 2000s. Playing off the ball, coming off screens, running the baseline.
Well, Reggie and Ray, all they did was catch and shoot. That's where they were the most. That was where they were the most deadly, was catch and shoot.
That's my point. Curry can play off ball without having a high usage rate. He does not need the ball in his hands. He can run off screens and still kill you. And then if he wants to ISO you and do the same things that Iverson and Kyrie can do, he can do that as well. Iverson and Kyrie can't play off ball and do what Curry can do. So Curry is far harder to guard than those two guys.
I just think it was a different game at that time, and that wasn't what they were asked to do because they would make you boogie. They have you out here dancing. And
I agree. You and I both love AI. So I'm not. This is not a knock on AI. What I'm saying is Curry's game is so much more versatile. If Curry would have played in the 90s and in the early 2000s, he would have still been coming off ball screens and knocking down
I
shots.
love Steph.
Right. We all love
Like,
Steph.
I'm not hating on him at all. I'm just saying, like, I feel like it's hate on Kyrie, not Kyrie, but on AI. AI was something else, man.
AI was phenomenal.
AI was something else. Like that's what birthed your Currys and your Stephs. I mean, well, actually, probably not. Probably not.
We going hold on, Jay. We're gonna get to
Kyrie Irving.
picks. We're gonna get to the picks.
Probably not
after this
Kyrie
question.
Irving because Ross Strickland pretty much, gave him the way.
Oh, it's
You know what I'm
Kyrie.
saying?
I mean, that's his godfather. He got a lot of his game from
Yeah,
Rod.
and Rod he's a point. Like when they talking about point guard, like I was listening to NBA radio today, and they was talking about Chris Paul. Stop calling him point guard. That shit pisses me off so much. Like, bro, you ain't never won no championship. You ain't never took no team to the promised land, and they calling you the point guard. Fuck you, man. Get out of here. I take Ross Strickland over Chris Paul 8 days a week.
Let's get to this question from James, and then we're gonna get to the NFL picks because we already an hour in, and I know everybody want to know the picks, and we got to get to the picks. That's the most important thing. Before we do, I want to remind everybody, every Friday night we go live 9 p.m. So make sure you subscribe to the Sanchez Show on YouTube. The episode will be over on Spotify, and then on Sunday, if you're looking for a recap of the games, tune in on Sunday. Trip Young and myself, we give you a recap at 7 p.m. over on Real Fans Real Talk.
Are we on Facebook?
We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitch every Friday night, 9 p.m.
Bet.
James Brown wants to know before we get to the picks. Season starts. Is it Thursday? I thought it was Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
Tuesday. Yeah. But I know what you meant, James. He want to know what's our pick for the NBA Finals and winner. So he wants our preseason pick on the Finals matchup and who we think's gonna win. Also, our MVP for the season. Will, I'm gonna let you start.
Man, that's a tough one. I haven't, because I hate even trying to analyze the NBA this early in the season. Like I'm one of those who likes to come around Christmas time. You know what I mean? But right now, Boston and Milwaukee look really tough in the East. And in the West, I'm pretty much settled though. I think Denver's the best team in the West. In the East, shit, I gotta see how Dame and you know what? Okay, I'll jump out there. I'm gonna go ahead and say it's gonna be Milwaukee and Denver. Because with Dame coming over here, I don't know how you stop pick and roll against the Bucks right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, or running high post. I don't know how you stop that.
That's fair.
With Milwaukee because Dame can pull up from 30 on you, and Giannis can get to the rack off 3 steps from 30 on you, and I really don't know how that's stoppable. So I would go with Milwaukee in the East, and then out West, the Joker and Jamal Murray. I believe in them completely because they play basketball the way I know it, the way I know how to play it. And so yeah, that's my pick.
Vern, go ahead, Vern.
I'll be very quick. Celtics, I think, come out the East. I think Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown finally figure it out, especially with the addition of Jrue Holiday. When teams generally get together the first year, they don't get to they don't achieve the championship or even get into the championship. So that's why I'm not gonna pick Milwaukee. I'm in the West. I think it's the Golden State's last year. I think Golden State
But
finally, for the last year, I think they win it and then they just break up. I'm not sure if Steph retires or what happens, but I think that's what's going to happen. I'm not sure who's going to win. But for my MVP of the season, I went with Jason Tatum last year, and I'm going to go with Jason Tatum this year. I think Jason Tatum finally breaks through. I think Embiid, he's not going to do the same. I mean, I think a lot of turmoil in Philly. Jokic is kind of MVP. They kind of tired of him there.
It's fatigue.
Yeah, fatigue. LeBron not going to win it. Anthony Davis not going to win it. So I'm going to go with Jason Tatum really at this point as default if it's not Anthony Edwards. So that's why I'm going with that, and I'll leave it to you, Eric.
Counselor, let me just combat that real quick. Counselor, what do you think about the impact of adding Kristaps Porzingis to that Boston team, though? Because when you got Tatum, you got Brown, is that going to take away? That's going to take away a lot of touches because they're going to try to feed it. So do you think he will be impactful enough to take them to the next level? Because if not, then all he's going to do is take away touches from the dudes that should have the ball.
Yeah, I think so, but I think because of the strong rapport between Brown and Tatum and the rapport they built over the years, I feel as though Porzingis has no choice but to fall in line with whatever they already built there. I think Drew Holiday also is a better player than Marcus Smart on both the defensive and
Drew's a great addition. Yeah, that's an upgrade.
I wouldn't be making this pick. I just think with the cohesiveness, with not just them as a players, but also with the coach going through with them last year, I think they have an edge over Milwaukee or anyone else that can come out of the East. Now, of course, you know how it goes. Injuries play a big part in this game, right? Because if someone gets an injury for 3
head up. So team for team, you think Boston man for man is better than Milwaukee?
Yes, Milwaukee's going to suffer greatly defensively. Dame cannot check me in the rec gym. And I'm not that great of a shooter.
But you know what? Dame will put 50 on you.
I mean, he might, but defensively, I'm going to put 25. I'm definitely putting 25 on Dame's neck right now. So because of that, what I'm saying is I think they're going to fall short. Also, you got the chemistry cannot be underrated here. They have a cohesive unit that's been working now because you can always add.
Not really when you adding Porzingis.
Nah, but I think they're still gonna be fine there.
They're gonna be fine there, right? You're talking about the way Milwaukee has operated it's going to change. It's going to change drastically this year. I think it's going to take at least a year for them to figure it out, and they're going to say, okay, look, we're missing this particular piece. They'll add it next year, and then they'll be able to compete with the Boston, etc. So I think that's what's going to happen here. Also, dark horse, if Zion Williamson remains healthy, they can definitely compete in the West. But I don't think that's going to happen. So what I'm saying is that I think it's going to be.
Wait. Yeah, you just said New Orleans in the West?
No. We're not even going to go down that road, bro. We're not even about to go down that road because we like Zion ain't shown nothing to give anybody enough hope to think that they could come out of the West.
Episode. Just make sure
every episode is recorded.
It's going to come back. We're going to be in March, and I'm going to say, Eric, remember the episode I told you what the Pelicans might be a dark horse? So I'm going to say.
They're not coming out.
You ain't gonna have to remind them. It's all on tape. Yeah. You ain't gonna have to remind them.
Listen, I like Boston as well. We got into this debate when the Dame trade was announced. I like Boston a little bit more. Will, to your point, I think Porzingis is gonna fit in perfectly with them because they already have a pecking order there. So he knows he's not coming in getting 18 shots a night. He knows that he's gonna pick and pop. He's gonna fill the lane. And I think also they'll be able to manage his minutes, especially early in the season, because he is dealing with the foot injury. So I like Boston to come out of the East. I like the cohesion there a little bit more than Milwaukee. And the West, Denver is probably the easiest pick based on what we know right now. But I do think there are teams that are going to make a move. I think Golden State's going to try to make a move to position themselves to get a piece. Remember, they got a lot of young guys that they can flip. And I also think the Lakers are going to find themselves in a similar situation where they're trying to make a move. So right now, I do like Denver, but I would not be surprised if Golden State makes a move and positions themselves and then able to come out of the West, man.
Yeah, when you got the best shooter in the league, and then you got a healthy Klay Thompson. Golden State's always going to be an issue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Golden
As
State
long as Steph Curry's
the
still
young
in the league,
pieces and the contracts
they're always going to be an issue.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think Golden State makes a move, and it's similar to what Vern said. They're at the end of this dynasty, of their dynasty anyway, their version of a dynasty. So they got to make a move. Ron
And then your dark horse is the. I was about to joke with you, but to say the dark horse is the Wizards.
Nah, they not nobody's dark.
Jordan Poole and the Wizards. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah. Jordan Poole and Kuzma.
Just joking. Jordan Poole and Kuzma, man, that might be the new Jordan and Pippen. Nah, I'm just kidding. That's a complete joke. Complete joke.
Ron wants to know what's our thoughts on James Harden. I think James Harden needs to cut the bullshit. I think James Harden needs to report.
James Harden's a bitch.
There you go.
And it's a shame. One of the most talented players in the league.
Without doubt.
But that's not. But he's not focused on being one of the best players in the league. He's just focused on being a dude that makes money.
Skill set.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's got his skill set's crazy. Yeah, like actually, if you talk about James Harden and the way he can play basketball, it's not a lot of dudes that's better than him. But when you're not focused on basketball, and when that's not your focus, what does it even matter? You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the situation with James Harden, and it's been that way everywhere he's been. You know what I'm saying? He's been on how many teams in the last 3 years? And
4 teams.
He's been in Philly. He's been in Houston.
He was Houston.
He's been in.
He was on 3, and he was trying to get to his 4th. Let's hold on. I'm gonna run through some of these comments. I'm gonna run through some of these comments real quick that we didn't get to before we get to the picks. All right.
Okay.
Let's see what else we got here. Ron wanted to know, y'all surprised Saquon doesn't want to be traded? No, I'm not surprised because Saquon actually has roots in the New York area. His uncle, a lot of people don't know, his uncle was world championship boxer Iran Barkley, who was originally from the Bronx and lives in New York.
Oh, shit, that's an uncle?
That's his uncle, Iran Barkley. So Saquon has a lot of family in the New York, New Jersey area. So I'm not surprised that he doesn't want to leave. And I believe he left. He was originally born in New York, and I think his family moved down to Pennsylvania when he was about 8 or 9. So, like I said, he still has a lot of family in that area. So,
he also the market ain't like that for running backs. So, yeah. I did not know Iran Barkley was his. Damn, that's crazy.
Iran the Blade Barkley is his uncle. Shout out to Jay. Why is Vegas still sleeping on the Lions? Baltimore is -3 this week over Detroit. We're gonna get to that game in a minute, Jay. So we're gonna get to that. Hold on. We're gonna get. I just like I said, these are some of the comments that came through that we didn't get to that early in the show.
What up, Jay?
So I don't want to forget. Shout out to A Love. She said, "Tell me how y'all really felt when the Jets."
Eric, tell him. Eric, tell him what I told him last week.
Vern, he basically removed FanDuel from his phone. He almost gave up on gambling. He gave up on gambling for about 48 hours. We had to talk.
Hey,
I had to talk him off the ledge.
That was a fluke, though.
I said it on the podcast.
Yeah,
that was a fluke. Let's not have fun around. I mean, any given Sunday, you know what I mean. But that was a complete fluke.
Shout out to A Love on that. What else we got?
What up, A Love? I ain't never seen her in here.
Pooh wanted me to put this question up, so I'm gonna put it back up. She was asking earlier. Correct. Oh no, we got to that. My fault. We got to that. Pooh. It was another one that she had up there. What else we got? James had mentioned Candace Parker becomes the only player in WNBA history to win 3 titles, different teams. Definitely got to congrats that. What else we got?
Yeah, she ain't really do nothing this series, though.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all surprised I watched the WNBA? Yeah, I watched a little bit.
What else we got?
Because Asia Wilson is a complete dime piece.
Jay put this up. Jay put this up when we was talking young players who might have a breakout season. He said, Paolo, hopefully continue to grow his game this offseason. I like Paolo, and I hope that him playing FIBA helps him extend his game as well. What
I
else
like
we have?
the Wemby, and I like the other kid from that was hurt for OKC last year.
Chet Holmgren.
Chet Holmgren. Yeah, I think he's gonna be an issue.
Yeah, I think Chet's gonna have a really good year this year with Shai Gilgeous, right, Vern? And then shout out to my man King Mac. He was talking about the whole Harden situation. He said ISO ball will never get a ring. That's a fact. All right, let's get to the picks. It's that time, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's do it.
It's money making time. We're gonna right our wrongs. Last week was the first week in a long time that we struggled.
We were off, huh?
Yeah,
man.
Every the first 5 weeks of the season, we all had winning records. You look back at last season. I don't think last year the 401k pick of the week ever missed last year. This was the first time
we used to nail them.
Yeah, this was the first time in a year and a half that the 401k pick of the week did not hit. So we're gonna get it right this week. Vern, let's do this. We already an hour.
I'm clinking now. So we getting into football picks. We been what, an hour and 15 in?
Yeah. We're hour.
I need to clink.
We're gonna get some of the bad ones out the way.
Yes, sir.
The bad ones out the way. Let's get some of the trash games out the way. Because we got to focus on the money makers. Let's get some of the trash ones out the way.
You go ahead and drive, Eric. Go ahead and drive.
Right off the bat, it's a bad game. Green Bay at Denver. Green Bay's favored by 1. Vern, go ahead.
I mean, shit, flip a coin.
Right?
I'm not playing this game. To be honest with you, I'm not playing this game. All my rankings, I have this.
It's a trash game.
Number 12. I got the Packers at 1.5, and the only reason I got the Packers 1.5, I feel as though Sean Payton has melded in the season. He has one of the largest contracts in the NFL. As a head coach, he has no incentive to win this year. And they say, fire me, fuck it, whatever. It's nothing. So I think the Packers win by 1.5 points, only because I feel like they're melding it in. It's a lot of trade prospects they got on the market. I mean, Jerry Jeudy, etc. So I'm going to go Packers 1.5. I have no goddamn idea what's going to happen in this game.
All right. Jay said Jordan Love got Aaron Jones back and all his weapons. I don't know if that even matters because they've had some weapons back the last couple of weeks and they still look bad. Will, Green Bay at Denver.
I got Denver.
Okay.
And that's because
let's not spend too much time on this game because it's a bad game.
Yeah, I got more faith in Russell Wilson than I do in Jordan Love. And I think Russell's due with the season they've been having. They're at home. I like Denver.
I agree. I got Denver as well. Jordan Love, they haven't looked good on the road at all. I know he got his pieces back, but I'm just gonna, again, we talked about this last week. When it's two bad teams, you take the points. Granted, it's only a point and a half. I'm gonna go with the home team here. It ain't many points to take at all here. I'll take Denver. The defense in Denver is bad, but Green Bay I don't think has enough offensively to exploit that anyway. So I'm just gonna take Denver on this one. Another terrible game. It's a 1 o'clock game. Vegas traveling to Chicago. It's possible that both backup quarterbacks are playing in this one. Chicago got a guy that was playing like Division III quarterback last year. He's in there now. Vegas is favored by 2.5. Somehow Vegas is 3-3 on the season. They could get to 4-3. Will, who wins this terrible fucking game?
Vegas does. And that's it. No analysis. Vegas.
I agree. We don't need to get into much more. Vern, go ahead, man.
I mean, I'm a flip a coin. You know what's so crazy?
This week is horrible.
I don't think Vegas wins. I think Chicago wins.
It's the bad. Shout out to Jay.
Jay. I think they cover. They cover 2.5. Or is that 3 now? Is that 2.5?
It's at 2.5. I checked an hour before we went live. It was at 2.5.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the Bears here. I think the Raiders just fucking suck. Josh McDaniels fucking sucks. The Bears don't have a quarterback no one has any film on. And if you look, backup quarterbacks without film do well in the first week.
That's true.
That's where I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Bears to cover. I'm going to fucking win, but 2.5, I think they fucking cover. God, let me drink to that shit. God.
Yeah, this is a terrible. Listen, Jay confirmed both the backups of both.
I can't believe the counselors out here sipping tonight, man. Let me just acknowledge that.
I want to put a disclaimer out there. like we joke around about gambling and all that. If you gambling on this game, you are a fucking degenerate. Do
Yeah,
not
for
gamble
real,
on this
for real.
game.
If you put
Do not.
anything on that,
Do not.
you have issues.
Please do not gamble.
There are
on this
there are
game.
800 numbers that we can
Yeah.
send
Please.
you if you're betting on this fucking game.
Please, for the love of God, do not gamble on this game. Leave that shit alone. I don't.
There
give a
are
fuck.
numbers we can send you to
I don't give a
fix
fuck how many. I don't give
your
a fuck.
issues.
Listen, I don't give a fuck how
For
many
sure.
profit boosts. I don't give a fuck how many profit boosts FanDuel gives you. Do not bet on that game. That is a
There's
terrible
no
game.
reason. There's no reason to bet on that game.
With that being said, if you are going to bet on that game, take the under because points are going to be at a premium. Just take
If you're
the
gonna
under.
bet on that game, just give me the money. Just fuck it, because you're throwing it away.
Matter of fact, that's a great point, Will. If you're gonna bet on that game, just donate to the opinionated ones.
Yeah,
Just
you know what I'm
donate.
saying. We
We'll put it
so
in
we
the
can
budget.
get our shit up.
Yeah, we'll put it in the budget. We're gonna put it in the budget. Don't
For
bet
sure.
on that bullshit game. I'm taking the Raiders just because, like I said, this quarterback that the Bears got, I don't even know how to pronounce his name. He was a Division III quarterback. They rolled out NFL Network. You sure it was Division II?
Yeah.
They wrote, the NFL Network rolled out a highlight of like his last game that he started where his team lost like by 20-something points in Division II. So I don't know.
Damn.
No.
I know
Points. I'm taking points here.
no, it was a great point you made where you said, there's no film on the guy. But if you losing by 20-something points in Division II, I don't even want to see what you look like in the NFL.
17,
But
19.
see, that's the thing. When it's no film, that's what favors them.
All right. Those are the two worst games. We got them out the way. Let's go to some other matchups where it's a little lopsided. So Arizona going to Seattle. Seattle's favored by 8 points. Seattle's still a pretty solid team. Arizona isn't. Vern, let me know what you think.
I got Seattle -7.5 here. Actually, this is a game that I'm betting straight up. First of all, let me tell you something. I'm done with parlays. Fuck parlays. Parlays can go to hell. I'm betting them straight up. Seahawks -7.5. Line might move to 8 if you can get it at 7.5. Go ahead and lock that in. It's a key number. So I'm going Seahawks 7.5 here. No James Conner. The Cardinals are not the same, and also get them down before Kyler Murray returns.
Yeah, they just brought him off the IR, so they expect him to be back soon. Will, Arizona at Seattle. Can Arizona pull off the upset, or you feeling Seattle here?
I don't think so. I think it's Seattle all day. Shout out to Josh Dobbs. He's done a great job.
Absolutely.
This season. Where nobody thought he would be able to be successful. But I think this is not the spot that you want to be in if you're a Cardinals fan. Coach,
you ain't gotta say no more.
You got the better coach, and Geno Smith. Even though I don't believe in him, but last year he showed that he was trying to step up, and if he can step up this week, I think it's going to be a bloodbath. I take Seattle.
I agree. I think Arizona looked good to start the season. We saw them cover some games, but the gig is up. There's not a lot of talent. Shout out to Josh Dobbs. He's done as much as he could do in this situation, but there's a reason why he's a backup quarterback in this league. Yep. So I expect the Seahawks to bounce back. I also think some people will be off of the Seahawks because of them losing to Cincinnati last week, but that's not a fair assessment because I think Cincinnati is back now. Cincinnati is the team that we expected them to be. Seattle just happened to lose a tough road game. Seattle wins at home. Yeah. Let's go to another lopsided matchup. To me, this is going to be my 401k pick of the week.
Ooh, I actually didn't even mark my 401k pick yet.
It's going to be one. I'm gonna give people 2 401k picks of the week this week, but this is one of them. The Buffalo Bills at New England. The Bills are favored by 8 points.
Yeah.
The Bills are favored
Buffalo
by 8 points.
You know what? That might be mine.
Buffalo is going to beat the shit out the Patriots.
Yeah, that's my 401k.
We're back this week. Forget what happened last week. We're back this week. Buffalo is going to beat the shit out of the Patriots. And I know people are going to be like, oh, but they struggled against the Giants. One thing we forgot last week, fellas, and I take responsibility for this. We should have known Buffalo was going to struggle against the Giants because Brian Daboll was the offensive coordinator in Buffalo. He knew how to pressure Josh Allen. And I think that was the main difference last week. He knew how to bring pressure. Josh Allen never got comfortable in that game. The Patriots can't bring no pressure. Matthew Judon is out. Their best cornerback is out. They got no weapons on offense. They probably got the worst quarterback in the league. And I heard a crazy number today. Everybody talks about Bill Belichick and how great he is, myself included. I've said I think Bill Belichick is the greatest NFL head coach ever. A lot of people talk about just listen, Will. Keep up, baby. Come on. Bill Belichick. A lot's been made about him potentially being an all-time winning head coach at some point. Do you know he's only 8 losses behind Tom Landry for all-time losing his head coach too? He might get to that record this year. I like Buffalo in a landslide. Vern, go ahead.
Hey, Eric, let me tell you something. New England has whooped the shit out of Buffalo for
years.
Buffalo's like, you know what? We got a chance to right our motherfucking wrongs. Go into New England and put the motherfucking smack down on them.
Listen, Vern been drinking tonight, and I like this version of Vern.
I know that's what I know.
This is the version I like. Right?
Wait a minute.
Bottom served in Foxborough, okay?
Wait a minute.
It's coming. I think it's something like 30-13. Mac Jones throws at least 1 pick six.
Easily.
Counselor, you got the Patriots over the Bills this week?
No, he got the Bills.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Mac Jones throws at least 1 pick six. I think we see my guy Malik Cunningham in his game sometime in the late third quarter and maybe give the Patriots some promise, but it's going to be a little too late. I think the Bills whip the shit out of the Patriots. And if they got a chance to put up 50, they will.
It is funny, though. I can tell you've been drinking.
Hey, look,
hey, look. I got the Bills. Then. And that's my 401k. Ship your chips. The Bills are going to beat the shit out of the Patriots.
We taking all that? All of us taking that as our 401k?
Yeah, cover the spread, everything. Just.
Oh, y'all got that too?
Yeah. I started off by saying that. That's my 401k. That's one of them. I got another one too, but that's one of them.
What you got, Counselor?
401k pick of the week. Not the Bills are going to. Josh Allen might try to mimic what the Dolphins did to the Broncos. He might try.
So you got that too? Are we all 3 on the same game for 401k?
401k pick of the week. I like Buffalo. I like Buffalo to kill him. All right.
There's
gonna be people that's gonna be scared to bet against Bill Belichick, but that's why I threw that number out there that he's only 8 away from being the losingest coach of all time. This Patriots team is terrible. They're gonna keep losing.
Can I come on to the next thing?
Yeah. What's the next one? Let's go there.
Let's go Chargers Chiefs. What y'all think?
Lock of the week.
I'm gonna start it off. I'm gonna say we are in a spot where if we don't win this week, we don't make the playoffs. We're going to Kansas City. They're not, the great Chiefs that we've seen in the past. But we're not great either. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like it's a win or die situation for us. So of course I'm kind of homer. So I'm picking my boys. But if we lose this week, we're not making the playoffs. So I'm taking the Chargers over the Chiefs. I'm liking like a 2 or 3 point game.
Hey Eric, let me get in here real quick. Let me just get in here.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, hit me up.
This is my lock of the week. Look, if you have not heard me before this point in time, listen to me now.
I'm listening.
Chargers are plus 5.5. By the point.
What? Are you serious? That's the line for real?
Yeah, it is.
Chargers are getting 5.5 in this game. Yep.
By the point to get to 6.5.
At Kansas City.
Yes, correct. By the point to get to 6.5 lock it in and go to sleep. I cannot remember the last time the Chargers lost to the Chiefs by more than 6 points. Mahomes
Fair
is
point.
at his weakest
Oh, we
point.
always lose by 3 or 2.
Right.
Yeah,
That's the
fair,
thing.
fair point. Yeah.
Is at his weakest point. Herbert didn't look great. If Herbert looked great, you know what? This line will be at 4.5.
Justin last week, Justin looked the worst that
Right.
I've ever
Oh,
seen him.
if
That I've ever seen him.
Great. This might be 3.5. It might be 4. We are getting free points from Vegas. Listen to me when I tell you. Take the Chargers at 6.5. Lock it and forget it. Go to sleep. Go to the playground. If you're where I am, it's gonna be cold as shit and windy as motherfucker. So you might not want to take a
That's the
drink.
thing. You do the points. I
It
just go straight up win loss.
It's
But you be
bad.
going off the points.
And the Chargers might upset. But even if they don't, it will be a close game, be 2-3, maybe even 4 points. Lock it in, set it, and forget it.
So I
But
think
I'm going Chargers, period.
I think the Chargers. So the Chargers are going to put a better effort forward than we saw against Dallas. I think the Dallas.
I mean,
I think the Dallas game was the typical trap game for them because the Chargers kind of got caught looking ahead, knowing they had the Chiefs coming up, and there was so much attention on the Cowboys. The Chargers didn't play well. With that being said, I think
no,
I think the
my
Chiefs
bad.
win.
Go ahead.
I think the Chiefs win. I think the Chiefs cover. It's going to be a close game, but I think they're going to cover. This Chargers defense is terrible, bro.
I'm going 6.5, not 5.5.
All right.
I'm going 6.5.
I think the Chiefs beat them by a full touchdown. The Charger defense is
What?
really bad. I think the
By
Charger
4
defense,
touchdowns?
I said by a full. One
Oh, I
touchdown.
thought you said by 4.
No, by one touchdown at least. I think again, this Charger defense is really bad, bro. They don't stop anybody, and there's so much pressure put on Herbert. Last week's a prime example. Herbert got to play perfect for them to be competitive and win.
And he was horrible last week. Horrible.
And this Chief defense, I think, is better than some people want to give him credit for. So I like the Chargers to keep it competitive. I think the Chargers probably even might have the lead at halftime. But I think in the second half, the Chiefs make the adjustments, and I think the Chiefs win. I see this being a 7-point win. I can see this being 27-20, the Chiefs winning, and their defense comes up with a stop late because that's been the MO for Herbert as well lately. Herbert seems to have the ball late in games and then can't get the drive. So I would not be surprised if we see that again this week.
Justin has looked horrible. I can't disagree with that.
Listen, I appreciate your honesty there, Will.
But that's my quarterback.
That's your quarterback. There you go. Let's go. I'm disappointed, man, that Anthony Richardson is done for the year. I like the kid, but the kid hasn't played a full game. He's always hurt. Cleveland going to Indianapolis. Cleveland is favored by 3.5. I think this Cleveland defense is legit. Deshaun is supposed to be back this week.
Yeah, that defense is vicious.
And
I got the Browns.
I got the Browns as well. I hate to go against the Colts, but there's more than enough film out on Gardner Minshew right now. This Brown defense is legit.
Hey, you taking the Browns in the spread? It's at 3.5 right now.
I'm taking the 3.5 because I think they win this one. I don't want it won't be a blowout, but I think it'll be pretty convincingly.
Yeah, I think it's like a 17-13 game or like a 20-13 game, or maybe even 20-14 game. I'm not sure Deshaun Watson's going to play. I'm not sure why.
The news is the word as of yesterday was that he was playing.
Yeah, so I'm taking the Browns in the spread. I'm taking the Browns in the points. I got them on my list at 3.5. I think it's a no-brainer here. I'm not saying that you play this as one of your maybe top 2 or top 3 plays of the week, but I think if you're like, hey, look, let me try to parlay with this with a Seahawks money line, I think you go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I think
even if Deshaun plays, I don't think he'd do much more than what the backup would have done. I like the Browns easily because of the defense. And Gardner Minshew is doo-doo, so I'm going with the Browns.
Gardner is what we thought he was. He's a backup quarterback, and once there's enough film on him, he's going to struggle. He's gonna have his moments. So that's why I say at this point, there's more than enough film. The Colts can't throw the ball down the field because they don't have a deep threat. Jonathan Taylor doesn't seem to be like in game shape yet, so they don't have that explosiveness in the running game. Their defense can only do but so much. So Cleveland's defense is gonna feast. I wouldn't be surprised if not.
Yeah, that Cleveland defense is serious, man.
Vern, I might hit you up
Yeah,
Sunday because this might be
well.
one of them. This might be one of them sack props that I take because I can see Cleveland at least having 5 sacks in this game. That might be one of these. I'm gonna write that down. This might be a sack prop game. I like that.
Yeah, that Cleveland defense is a problem.
Vern, we going.
Y'all know how I feel about Cleveland.
We know. Vern, this
But
for you.
but they out here. They out here.
Vern, this for you. Commanders going up to MetLife Stadium. Commanders.
Ooh wee, Vern.
What you got for me?
Hey, look, let me tell you something. Okay, your
I
thoughts
see your hat.
crazy.
I see your whack ass hat.
Giants own the Commanders. Not only that, even if you look at last week, we won that game because Desmond Ridder is an awful quarterback and no other reason. He threw to our defenders, and he didn't make wide open throws to his receivers. That's why we won. It wasn't because of anything that we schemed up or because we were just great or we were just schematically prepared. However, what I think happens in this game, it's a windy game. Play the under in this game. Don't play nothing else but the under. Play nothing fucking else but the goddamn under. I think this game is something like 2017. I think the Commanders win it only because of the injuries. I think
What injuries?
are decimated. I think we win it because of injuries. But if somehow happens that the offensive line is repaired and Daniel Jones plays, if Daniel Jones plays, we lose. Daniel Jones owns the Commanders, and that is what you want to know.
Yeah, he's like 8-1 against the
Yeah, the only reason he signed a contract because of us. So if Daniel Jones doesn't play, I think the Commanders win this game 2017. It's a winning game. We're going to fall below the under. Sam Howell's not really that strong of a passer. I think it's really who can run the ball the best. Well, that's where you go. But Commanders time, baby. And look, we come for the Eagles. You already know what the happened.
Go ahead, Will.
Commanders time. That's funny as shit. So, like you said, Daniel Jones owns y'all.
Owns
Y'all. Like he whoops y'all every time.
every goddamn time.
What is he like? 8-2 or something against y'all?
It don't even matter. I don't think he's playing Sunday.
Oh, is he out?
Yeah, I think he's out though. I think he's out.
As of right now, he's still listed as questionable.
I think Tyrod Taylor plays.
Shit. If Tyrod plays, then you know what? I gotta change my pick. I'm changing it right now. Washington wins.
Yeah.
Listen, I think
Washington wins this game. If Daniel Jones was playing, I would have picked the Giants. But you tell me he's not playing, I'm going with Washington.
I think you gotta go.
Then,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a lot to talk about. Then Washington wins.
I think you have to go with Washington in this game. The Giants' O-line is decimated. They've got 4 injuries on the O-line. Saquon just come back off missing 2 weeks. No Daniel Jones. They have no receivers. The defense is terrible. You know, this defense is giving up about 140 yards on the ground per game. So this could be a big Brian Robinson day.
The biggest factor, no, it's not going to be a big day for anybody. It's just going to be it's just going to be a game where you just were not worse than the other team.
I think the Commanders could really run the ball on the Giants in this game. I think they could really run the ball on them.
Because I don't think Washington can really run a ball like that.
Yeah, but when you playing a team that gives up 147 yards per game on the ground, everybody looks good. This is one of them weeks. Everybody looks good if you're the Commanders. And then to Vern's point of the under, I think the under is a great bet in this game. This is the Giants' last 4-point outputs for the last 4 weeks. 12. Giants have scored 12.
I can't believe I just picked Washington.
Hold on. Giants have these are actual scores. Giants have scored 12 points, 3 points, 16 points, 9 points. The under might be the safest bet of this one as well.
Also, windy games over more than 10 miles per hour. Over 10 miles per hour, I think hit at the under at more than 60%. I think the estimated wind gusts is 16 miles per hour. And you're
at
talking
MetLife,
quarterbacks who are not prolific passers. So take the under if you want to play this game. Don't do anything else.
Yeah, I mean,
I got Washington. That's crazy.
I like the Commanders winning, and to Vern's point, then it sets up the matchup with Philly next week. And that's a home game for the Commanders as well. So I'm sure the DC
Hey,
area
I'm
will
gonna
be
be
excited about
there.
that.
So, hey, I'm gonna be there.
No, don't even, bro.
Lock in for.
That shit don't matter at all because it's gonna be half Philly.
Listen,
It
all right.
is.
What else we got? We got Atlanta at Tampa. Will kick us off here. Atlanta at Tampa. Tampa's favored by
Bucks.
2.5. You like the Bucks? I can't believe you going
Yeah.
with Baker Mayfield. Say less.
I'm going because I'm not going with what's Atlanta's quarterback?
Desmond Ritter.
I'm not going with Ritter. I'm not going with the rookie running back. He's sick. What's his name?
Brian Bijan.
Bijan Robinson. He's sick, but they have nothing else.
He's not listed
And the
on the injury
Bucks
report, though.
and the Bucks are full of veterans, and I think they can pull it off at home. I like the Bucks.
Vern, what you think?
Ritter is 35 out of 35 quarterbacks. QBR.
I'm not surprised.
He what?
35 of 35. It's only 32 NFL teams, by the way.
He's what? 35 of 35 quarterbacks?
Yeah. And it's only 32
Yeah,
NFL.
trash. That's trash.
Yeah. I'm
going with the Bucks all day.
The way they started off, I feel as though they thought that they can win they thought they can possibly be a team that can compete for the division. With the Saints losing, I think the Bucks feel like they can, rally and meet their objective of possibly being an overachiever team.
They don't got enough. That's the thing. They don't got enough.
Win this game by 4 points. The Falcons suck. They lost to the goddamn Commanders by more than 7 points. Desmond Ritter can't. Honestly, I'm open right now. Nobody's checking me. Desmond Ritter right now can't hit me in the motherfucking chest. So I'm motherfucking Bucks.
Yeah, I think you got to go with the Bucks. I'm not a fan of Tampa Bay. I don't think they're a really good team. But when you look at their record, the only two teams they've lost to are like high-level teams. They beat up on the bad teams. They beat up on Minnesota. They beat up on who else they had? Beat up on Minnesota, beat up on the Bears, beat up on the Saints. They only lost to Philly and Detroit, who are two of the better teams in the NFC. So I don't want to really judge them off their losses. I think they beat up on this Atlanta team as well that's young. Will, I don't see Bijan on the injury report, but I don't think it'll matter. I think Tampa Bay still wins this at home against.
Yeah, I think it's easy work for them.
I think they get that off. One other bad game, and then we're gonna get to the best games of the weekend. Pittsburgh is in LA to face the Rams. The Rams are favored by 3. Vern, let me know what you think.
All right, everything statistically says you should pick the Steelers here +3. Everything says it. Tomlinson as a dog, yada, 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 blah, 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 blah. But what we must remember here is most of Tomlin's career has been with Ben Roethlisberger, probably someone who will end up in the Hall of Fame. I don't give 2 shits. Kenny Pickett is complete ass, okay?
Yep.
I am taking the Rams here. I think the Rams win this game something like 27-17. Kenny Pickett is ass. Kenny Pickett is ass. But this is what I would do with this game. I'm actually not going to bet this game, so I'm not going to tell you to bet it where it's at. I'm going to tease this game. And I'm going to tease this game with what they call a Wong teaser +6. I'm going to take it as Rams +3.5. And just sit on my couch and just be like, "Oh, this is money, money."
What do you mean you teasing it? We don't do points around here, man. You picking the winners or the losers?
I'm gonna take them against the spread. We're at 3 right now. I'm taking the Rams with this. I'm taking the Rams with the spread. But if I was to bet the game, it's different than just picking the game. Picking the game has to
Okay.
consequences. But if I'm talking about monetary consequences, I'm going to take them with the 3.5. It's no fucking way the Steelers win this game. And if they win the game, it's nowhere by more than 3 points. So I will take the Steelers +3.5 if you're going to bet the game.
What you think,
I
Will?
agree. I picked the same. I picked the Rams over Pittsburgh.
I got the Rams as well. The only thing that concerns me is their running back Williams is out. He's been off to a good start. But they've got obviously Cooper Kupp back to go with the kid Puka. But the Steelers, yeah, I don't like anything
That's
about the
you know
Steelers.
what? That's the name of all of football that I'm so tired of hearing. It's
I thought it was
Puka
Taylor Swift.
Nakua.
I thought it
I'm
was Taylor Swift.
like, well, that was number 2. It was between Puka Nakua and Taylor Swift. Like I don't need to hear those names anymore. But let's move on.
All right. We got 2 games left, and they both the primetime games. Well, we did Miami Philly. We already got into that. Just a recap because I see my man King Mac in here. I got Miami to win. Vern and Will both like Philly. I think if you're Tua, you gotta get this win. This is your statement game.
Eric, you're wrong. And Jerry, you're not wrong.
So
Jerry,
where we at now?
Jerry,
49ers Vikings.
Yep.
Just really quickly. Jerry, I want to side with Eric because Eric's record through the season has been prolific. Eric can tell you right now, like he has been the GOAT really of the spread. However, Eric,
I could be wrong.
this is the game. Yes, you're wrong. And the reason why I say this, look, Miami, the last time they played a team on the road that was a formidable opponent, they got blown the fuck out.
They did.
And guess what? They don't get blown the fuck out this weekend.
Vern start drinking. He want to whisper to everybody.
Yeah, I want to say you creeping me out a little bit, bro.
It's Halloween, by the way. Get ready. So
yeah, it is Halloween. Yeah.
all I want to say is I think Miami wins this game. You know what's okay? Everybody's pressing the over here. No, I don't think it's the over. I think it's the under. I think this game ends at around 47 to 49 points.
That's a good point.
I think this game is around 30 to maybe like 17.
24? No.
I think it's like 30-17, maybe 27-17, 27-20. I mean, that's where I'm at.
The thing is
all over in this motherfucker.
Tyreek Hill is the cheat code.
I don't give 2 shits about Tyreek Hill. All I'm telling you is this.
What? How can you not if you favor in Miami?
Patriots, Eric, they scored 24 points. Remember that.
So you favor in Miami,
Yeah, Bill,
but you don't give a shit about Tyreek Hill?
Yeah,
How?
Bill triple team Tyreek in that game. That was
Okay, and guess what? The Bills they held them to 20 points. So what I'm telling you is this: they played Carolina, right? Carolina. How many wins does Carolina have this year? I'm mistaken. I cannot motherfucking count.
None. Did they win? Have they won?
None.
They're at 0. How many wins?
Why are you even bringing them up?
Eric, how many wins did Giants have? How many wins did
Why are you bringing up Carolina?
Giants got 1.
Okay. How many wins the other teams that Miami play have? Denver. How many wins they got?
Denver got 1.
Okay. So we're talking about a team that has destroyed opponents that got 2 and whatever wins. But we have no team
That's
has
fair.
wins.
That's fair.
The last time we seen a team where they played with more time wins this year, they got blown out.
Buffalo, yeah, they got handled.
They're
listen, that's a great point. Like I said,
why are you bringing up Bumsky teams though?
This is if there was ever a moment for Miami and for Tua specifically, you got to do it now.
It's not gonna happen. It's okay.
That's the only reason I'm taking them. I'm taking them because I feel like this is their moment.
Tua, take a parlay against this team, Eric. Tua gets 6 sacks at least in this game.
Sack prop. We're gonna put the sack prop on that one as well. Let's get to the Monday. Let's get to the Monday night game because this is my other.
Hold up.
What's up?
Hey,
what's up?
Did we go Lions Ravens?
Oh, that was the other one. I'm sorry. Appreciate you, Will. Thank you. That was the other one. Detroit at Baltimore. Shout out to Jay because Jay put this up in the comment section as well. So I'm gonna get to that one. Will, I'm gonna let you start this one off. Detroit going to Baltimore. Remember, they played last year to start the season. Justin Tucker hit like the 67-yard field goal to beat Detroit on opening day. That might have been a turning point for Detroit because it seems like since then they've become a competitive team. But they got to go to Baltimore now. What do you think?
Man, I really like what Detroit's been doing. They biting them at the knees. I'm taking the Lions.
I like it, man. I like it. I like Detroit as well. And I put Jay's comment back up there from earlier where he said, why is Vegas still sleeping on the Lions? Baltimore is -3 this week over Detroit. I think Detroit is really good, man. Detroit's defense is good.
Yeah.
Detroit's offense is explosive. We expect this week, Vern, you're going to get your
defense for me.
The defense is good. The kid Hutchinson is the truth. Vern, this is the week that you're going to get your wish at running back because Montgomery is out with a concussion.
Yes, goddamn, finally.
But I think the offense is coming together for Detroit right now because they get the kid Jameis Williams back last week. You saw he scored a touchdown. Now they got their weapons.
Yeah, if that kid can get going, it's going to be an issue.
If you look at their weapons across the board with St. Brown, with this rookie tight end Laporta, now they got a lot of weapons now, and I really want to see how Baltimore's going to try to handle this team because Baltimore is not the defense that they once were.
Ravens,
and you can't sleep on when Dan Campbell is bringing this to them on a motivational level, and the way he's trying to bring these guys up.
Vern, you like Baltimore?
Ravens -3.
No input, just Ravens -3. That's what you like.
Set it and forget it. Ravens -3.
I don't know, man. I like Detroit a lot.
Let me tell you something. Play this game. Go to sleep at 1 o'clock. Wake up at 4 o'clock with money in the bank. You know what's so crazy? Detroit is like Miami. They can beat up on bottom feeders. They can. Look, they can. They can beat up on them. They can beat up on the bums.
They wake up at the same time.
They can do whatever they want to do against the bum.
I think Baltimore kind of falls in that same category, though.
The Lions, and I don't think it'll be close. The Lions not gonna be able to throw the ball. Also, you gotta look at Jared Goff's against the spread when he's outside.
What's the weather supposed to be that day? It's supposed to be clear sky, 64. No, 64 clear.
No. You're forgetting the most important part.
Wind,
16-mile-an-hour winds. The winds are the most important part when it comes to quarterback performance and unders. So what I'm telling you is that even if you're not comfortable with playing the way that I'm telling you to play, and that's perfectly fine because last week we knew that I didn't do that well. Play the under here. Not only play the under, I would say maybe tease 4 points up, play the under there. You might be able to get a maybe -120, whatever juice. But what I'm telling you is the Ravens are going to win this game. Don't let the line. First of all, the Carolina motherfucking Panthers scored 24 points on the lines. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, but this is one of them games, though, Vern, that I wouldn't put too much stock in that because the Ravens have been in the same position, too. You look at the Ravens wins. The Ravens haven't beaten anybody.
But the Ravens can keep games close. The Ravens can keep games under a certain standpoint. The Ravens can ball control when it comes to the running game.
Everybody can. Any given Sunday, you don't know what you want to face.
David Montgomery can score touchdowns again in the red zone, but they have not proven to me that Jared Goff as a quarterback can operate in the win. Lamar Jackson can because he can run the ball. Their offense can predicate off of Lamar Jackson's legs.
I feel like the Ravens record at 4-2 is a little bit of fool's gold because when you really look at it,
the Lions record at 5-1 is fool's gold.
But the Lions have dominated in their wins though. The Ravens have skated by.
And they built.
Tell me, Eric, tell me who it was against. Type. Just type.
I know. I already know who they beat. Who did the Ravens beat? Nobody, really. Right. That's my point. This is
the same. Yes, it's the league.
In the 3.
Everybody gets paid the same thing.
What I'm saying is when you look at the Ravens out here literally every week they're battling against teams that they're supposed to blow out.
23-17 Ravens.
Fair. I just think, like I said.
What did you say? You did not just say the 2017 Ravens.
No, he said 23-17.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, wait a minute.
When I look at the Ravens, like last week, you in a dogfight with a Tennessee team.
It was in London. Who gives a fuck?
All right. They lost to Gardner Minshew before that.
It still counts, though.
Yeah, that was tough. That was
that still counts. Are they not going to count that game because of the London?
They was up 10-0 on Pittsburgh and blew that lead and lost.
Well, first of all, Mike Tomlin, as I told y'all, Mike Tomlin. And
you can't shit on Mike Tomlin.
Don't
do that. You ain't allowed to do that, buddy.
The one dominant win that the Ravens have had this year happened when Deshaun was scratched 2 hours before kickoff, and that was the Cleveland game. Other than that, every game they've literally been in a dogfight. It don't matter who they played; they haven't looked impressive.
And I'm telling you, this week,
are we talking about Deshaun Watson?
The Lions have not had the Lions beat a team that has.
Are we talking about Deshaun Watson?
Have they?
Neither one of these teams have beat a team with a winning record. I don't think.
Okay, so I'm taking the home team.
I'm talking about the Deshaun Watson that didn't play last week, and
yeah,
the team still got the win. Are we talking about that guy?
And Detroit beat Tampa. Detroit beat Tampa. That's the one team they beat with a winning record.
Tampa fucking sucks. It's analytical. It's okay.
They beat Atlanta
It's
when Atlanta was
subjective.
2-0 too.
What it is subjective.
Detroit should
It
have
ain't
lost.
analytical. It ain't about analytics. It's subjective.
Receiver.
It's
Detroit-
what you think.
Hold on. Detroit actually has 3 wins against teams that had winning records at the time. Well, they beat Kansas City opening day.
Are we really going to count that? But keep going.
No. I'm just saying. You asked the question.
That's fine.
Why would you not count it?
Right. You asked that question. You said, who did they beat? They beat. That's the only loss Kansas City got on the season. Was to Detroit. They beat Tampa Bay, who has a winning record. So I think if we're gonna go resumes, Detroit's resume is a little stronger than Baltimore's right now because I haven't seen enough from Baltimore.
You know, I'm looking forward to October 27th when I come back on this podcast and I say, Eric, remember what you're talking about the Ravens and they lost, and then you explain why the Ravens covered the spread.
Well,
And
then if Detroit wins, you're gonna go AWOL next week.
I'll be here. And
Hey.
the same fucking gear.
Let's get to the Monday night.
This hoodie, what's up?
Let's
Yeah,
get
what's
to
the Monday night game?
Monday night. This is my other 401k pick of the week.
Ooh, wait.
49ers going to Minnesota. 49ers favored by 7. Everybody's going to be scared off the 49ers because of their performance last week. What everybody's going to forget, though, is that Kirk Cousins is one of the worst primetime quarterbacks of all time.
Yeah.
He will not have Justin Jefferson for this game. I like the 49ers. I like the 49ers to blow them out.
Are you talking about Monday?
I like the 49ers big force. I think it's gonna be a blowout. Like you said, it's gonna be a bloodbath. Well, I like them by like 10.
There you go.
Like I could see like a 24-14 situation there. But the Vikings are gonna struggle to score with what's going on in their organization. I think that it's gonna be a struggle for them to score. But I don't think it's going to be that for the 49ers. I think the 49ers put up 24 easily on the board.
I agree.
49ers easily.
Go ahead, Vern.
What's McCaffrey's status?
Questionable right now.
What's Debo's status?
Questionable right now.
Questionable.
Let me be very clear. If Debo and McCaffrey are not playing, the Vikings easily cover the spread. Easily.
Okay.
First of all, let's remember things. Brock Purdy is not good without the component parts.
Is Kirk Cousins good without?
Right. I was about to say, like, are we sure Kurt is good without Justin Jefferson?
Listen, he don't gotta be good. I know Kurt is going to score points and he will cover the spread.
You sure he's going to score points?
See, that's the Redskins fan in you coming out right there.
7 points is a lot for Kirk Cousins.
That's what that is.
Because
That's the Redskins fan in you coming out.
Minnesota.
I mean, what are y'all name now? That's for that fan in you coming out.
Minnesota has shown an ability to score points.
They scored 19. They scored 19 points last week without Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, they won the game. That's what they need to do. The Bears fucking suck.
But
hold
on.
You ain't playing the Bears this week.
Let's not say that they shown they can score points because the last
and guess what, Vern?
Jefferson. So
Vern, you playing
defense.
You playing the head coach and Kyle Shanahan that knows Washington inside and out, and you that confident?
I'm taking Vikings +7.
I think your perception of the Niners is skewed because of the loss last week.
No, I'm not. What I'm saying is if Christian McCaffrey and Debo Samuel are not playing, Brock Purdy is a 7th-round quarterback, and it showed last week.
But Brock Purdy still put the drive together that should have won the game.
I don't give 2 shits about the drive he put together. What I'm talking about is he could not sustain
Kirk Cousins.
How many accurate throws did Brock Purdy have in that game? How many do you think?
How many kicks did his kicker miss?
He missed. Okay, I'm not talking about.
He missed 2. He makes the kicks. We're not even having this conversation. Brock Purdy's still undefeated.
Brock Purdy. My assessment
Cousins,
exactly the same. Of him would have been exactly the same. Brock Purdy, like I said, the reason why Christian McCaffrey is an MVP candidate is because of the deficiencies of Brock Purdy.
Kyle Shanahan is going to be going against
Everyone knows that Brock
No.
Purdy is not an MVP quarterback.
No, but he don't have to be an MVP quarterback.
Who drafted Kirk Cousins?
Caffrey. Let's be.
don't-
Who
Brock
drafted
don't have
Kirk
to be-
Cousins?
Right, Brock don't have to be a MVP candidate.
Who drafted Kirk Cousins?
Huh?
Who drafted Kirk Cousins?
We did,
The
unfortunately.
Shanahans.
What player? I mean, what coach?
The Shanahans.
Jay Gruden.
No,
No.
it's the Shanahans.
Are you crazy?
No,
It was
Kyle
Shanahan.
Shanahan with Robert Griffin drafted him in 2012.
He know everything about this dude, man. You think he don't have you don't think he has to book on how to shut him down?
He's not a good quarterback. I've been saying this from the beginning. The reason why I chose the Steelers to cover in week 1, which is a mistake, was because of my lack of trust in Brock Purdy.
The Steelers? No, I'm talking no. I'm talking about
Hold on.
this
Let's get to it though. Let's get to it, because we're running on 2 hours.
I get you, but y'all playing the Vikings, right?
Yeah.
Who's your quarterback?
Right now, Kirk Cousins.
Who drafted him?
Shanahan. Whoa, it was not Cal.
No, yeah, it was Shanahan.
But it
So
wasn't
why
Cal.
do you think you have an upper hand over the dude that scouted you, drafted you, and took you in the same draft that you took another quarterback in the first round?
Thing.
And you think it's gonna be tweaked? Explain that to me. Just explain that to me real quick.
Without McCaffrey Debo, I'm not picking Brock Purdy to cover a motherfucking thing.
Fine, but listen, hear me out. You still got a very elite Niner defense that's gonna harass Kirk, who does not. What happened?
The fuck? What did they do last week?
That
They
Niner
didn't shut
defense.
the Browns down.
Well, let's see.
PJ Walker.
The
PJ
Niner
Walker-
defense. The Niner defense didn't play bad last week. Let's
Okay,
not act like they played bad.
It's
They
Kirk
gave
Cousins.
up 16 points.
Right? They gave
Kirk
up 16
Cousins
points.
and PJ Walker's. Is Kirk Cousins better than PJ Walker?
Right, but Kirk Cousins ain't got the benefit of that defense though. He's gonna be playing from behind all game.
You think Kirk Cousins will cover a 7-point spread? Okay, that's fine.
No, he's gonna be playing from behind all game with no running game.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
I'm not even hating. I'm not even trying to hate. I'm just trying to point it out.
It's not a knock on Kirk, but it is what it is. They got no running game, and you're missing your best receiver against a really good defense.
If Samuel play, that's different. But right now, I don't know if they're gonna play. So I gotta go with what I got.
I think I'm be honest. I think the Niners can sit them dudes and still win by 10 points.
You get the fuck out of here.
Me too. I think it's a 10-point win as well.
Okay.
Kirk's
You
gonna.
Brock Purdy played even 150 passing yards. So
He ain't gonna have to. Their defense is gonna dominate this week. Their defense
no,
is
they're
going.
not. They're not dominating Kirk Cousins.
Okay.
I'm telling you right now, they're not.
Okay.
I love football. See this, I love it. This is why I love it. I love it.
Listen. We're gonna wrap on that note.
All right.
Any final thoughts? Burn.
Oh,
any
by the
final
way,
thoughts?
final thoughts. MLB playoffs is the best
I keep saying that.
of any of the major 4 sports, and we're talking about MLS, hockey, baseball, football. It's not even close. I watched that Houston
Yep.
versus Rangers game today,
Yep.
and when you look at what the managerial decision was in that situation, it comes down to a lot of being clutch as a hitter and the managerial decision as to who you're going to have pitch against a particular player. There is no postseason that compares. I am not a Rangers or Astro fans. I can care who less wins the game. However, the intrigue of the game based on situational matchups is unlike any other postseason. In the NFL, it's not like you got like, oh, Jalen Hurts is playing in third down and short. We're going to put in this quarterback, or we're going to put in this receiver, we're going to put in this cornerback. It's all the same. But in the MLB, they had a choice to either keep in Chapman or to put in there, right?
Yeah.
In that situation, you saw what happened. So I think the intrigue. Also, no home team has won in
this series. Yep.
Or Astros. Also, we look at Bryce Harper and the Phillies and how they're dominating. I feel like the MLB playoffs are dominating. Also, also wish the Aces the best. I picked them before the season. I mean, it was to me, it was pretty clear who's going in WNBA finals. But yeah, so I think everyone right now needs to say stop what you're doing. MLB is not as long as you thought it was because of the new pitch clock, which I think is the best thing they ever done. Probably in the past 20, 25 years as relates to a rules regulation. Watch the MLB playoffs. You'll be thoroughly entertained. And you will love the product that you see on the field. Or the diamond, as I like to say.
Yeah, I agree. I watched that game as I was preparing to record tonight. And as you mentioned, it was a scenario where if you are a casual baseball fan, it had everything you wanted. It had the drama of the home run by Garcia that gives Texas the lead. It has the near brawl in the 8th inning, but more importantly, it had the pitching change that may have sabotaged Texas. And this was a situation where Texas was up 2-0 in the series, and Houston
2 in the game, 2-4 in the game. Yeah,
they was up 2-0 in the series, and they was up 4-2 tonight. Houston went into Texas and won 3 straight, and now they get to go home and close it out. It's not like Major League Baseball playoffs, man. Will, go ahead. Final thought, man.
I completely disagree. I respect it, but I disagree. I think hockey playoffs are way more intense than baseball playoffs. Even though I'm not like heavy into either one of them, but I would go with hockey playoffs over MLB playoffs. And I want to look at what's going on right now. Like, I think this time in the NFL season, this is where teams either going to be making the playoffs or not. You know what I mean? This is make it or break it time for a lot of NFL teams. So I think that's something to focus on. But hey, I'm not hating on your view of the baseball playoffs. It's just baseball's a analog sport in the digital world. So it's hard for me to even follow it, except for when my Nationals were in it a few years ago. You know what I mean? Like when that was major. And then when the Capitals were in the hockey play, like I didn't know about the intensity of hockey playoffs until until the Capitals were in it a few years ago. And then I was watching other teams. It's like every freaking play is, you know what I mean? It's like do or die every play.
Listen,
but I'm good. I'm good. What'd you say?
No, I was gonna say that I think the intensity of a hockey game might be second to none, right?
It was crazy. Like
because of the speed and the physicality that they're playing at.
Yeah, I mean, and every swoop of the puck. I don't even know how you're supposed to pronounce it. You know what I'm saying? But every time that puck was passed, was like, you know what I mean? It was like breathtaking. So I'm probably going to put hockey at the top, but I'm not, I'm not trying to hate on you, Vern, the counselor.
And that's cool. I worked in baseball operations in the scouting department for the Orioles, so that's why I'm a little.
I think to Vern's point, and we highlighted this before. Baseball is the only, like, when you play an NBA series, you make adjustments, but they're still centered around your star player. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
You know for a fact that you're gonna have Steph Curry for every game of that series unless he gets injured.
Basketball, when we talk about basketball on hoops and playoffs, that's still to my heart. That's always going to be to my heart and my soul because that was a game I played. Right. But when you see the intensity of playoff hockey, that's crazy.
Right. But to Vern's point, hold on. To Vern's point, right? In basketball and even hockey, when you make an adjustment in series, it's still centered around your star player that you expect to have on the court or on the ice. In
Absolutely.
baseball is the only sport that when you talk about a series, not a one game, but in a series, the decisions you make in game one can have effect for the next 3 games. Because if I don't use my bullpen the right way in game one, I could lose game 2, game 3, game 4 because my bullpen is worn out.
Yeah.
Only in baseball that happens. In the NBA, if your basketball team is getting blown out, what most teams do, they'll sit their starters on the bench for the last 8 minutes of the game, and we come back in game 2. In baseball, you can't afford to do that. You still got to get the outs. You still got to pitch guys. You still got to stay on the field and play out all 27 outs. And to Vern's point, like tonight was a prime example. Texas was in a situation, 8th inning. You're winning 4-2. Do I bring my best pitcher in now to try to get this out? Or do I save him for the 9th inning? If I don't bring him in the 8th inning and we give up the lead, everyone's second guess and say, why didn't you bring in your closer in the 8th inning? If you do bring him in the 8th inning, right? If you do bring him in the 8th inning like they did, he gets the out in the 8th, but then he gives up the 3-run homer in the 9th. They still second guess because now it's like, man, maybe he was worn out because he had to pitch in the 8th inning. And now to a bigger aspect of it, now you're down 3-2 in the series, and you don't even know if you can. You don't even know if you can come back to your closing game 6 because is his confidence shot now? So you can come back to him.
So that's so pretty much my final thought is I respect this. I respect those sports, but at the same time, at the end of the game, I'm still hoops. I'm still football. You know what I'm saying? I respect hockey. I respect baseball, but at the end of the day, it's hoops and it's football for me. And my other final point is, I love getting with you two guys every Friday. You guys are my brothers. We could be anywhere in the world, you know what I mean? But we here doing fellowship. I feel like it's fellowship, you know what I mean? Like it's always going to be us. Get that ugly ass head off my screen right now. I'm not trying to see that right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to show love, and you over here showing that ugly ass hat, man. But nah, man. You guys know me through and through. I respect you fellas. It's always gonna be us as long as it is. And I just appreciate the opportunity to come out and broadcast with you guys every week, man. It's love.
Absolutely. It's always a great time as we get together on Friday nights, and we'll be back together again next Friday. Let's hope all the picks hit. For my brothers, Vernon Brownlee, Will Gordon, I am Eric Sanchez. We are the opinionated ones, and we'll see you guys next Friday night.
Hey, Eric, don't duck me when I tell you what was going to hit now. Don't duck me now.
I ain't ducking. You know that. I don't duck. We get to it. We out of here.
My boys.